Really, the win should go on for that team. So NRG should be taking it, right?
You're adding another year of wisdom to that? Come on.
Oh, James the Wisdom Cobb. It's just going to keep going.
Break. We'll see what they have. Maybe that's why XSET's throwing a bit of different agent select in here. We got the Breach coming out for Def. We'll see what they can do from defensive side. If that plays more of a back position and is used for a kind of fault line setup and slowdown. Right now we see him in U-Haul, but also this fade. Looks like they're cooking up something towards B to start here. Advanced Silly. BCJ is going to get an idea. Oh, dear. He finds out quick.
A huge idea is getting hunted down, and he used at the front side, and at least we're able to make it out alive for a bit with BCJ with only 20 HP remaining. He does have a recon dart to work with if a smoke is going to come down towards elbow, but it doesn't. We leave it open so that NRG could fight it, go for the full execution, and already XSET is looking for the retake play.
Teleport through. Hookah's still covered, so everything was taken from this long area. What a push forward to take control of elbow. This is their site now. This makes it so hard for XSET.
Exactly, especially when NRG are not taking over Hookah. They know that there's got to be some players there. They hear the teleportation, so they're like, okay, let's push towards the back halls, and that leaves only 2 players. The last 2 players that we just literally talked about in Hookah, that's Def and Cryocells. Headhunter out for Cryo, who gets dropped by EU, and the long range gets a dink, but no kills, and we start off with a Prime giving flawless for NRG.
Just peeking on the Headhunter, too. Usually you see teams giving that a bit of respect, but right out there, EU, the rest of the team peeking, following each other up. Prime Gaming flawless for the first round. And this initial push towards the back side of the site, fantastic, like we said, just to grab so much control. And really just one and done. They wanted B long. They took B long once they mispositioned BCJ on peeking, and they had the rest of the site.
Yeah. We'll try to find a little bit of time to talk about the agent comps and changes too for both of these teams to add on with the analyst desk. But even into this round, it's looking to get some pressure into the map control early into the round for NRG as another tag comes into Cryocells, forcing him to TP back towards the A side. Satchel charges into the A side though, but Aaron holds inside the smoke, a shorty kill, a Noble's kill onto EU, but it's still gonna be XSET holding it down for a bit with a lesser buy onto the defender half at the A site. At least for EU, we get a flank down. The rotation's coming in. A flank's about to come in for the back too. And this is a big flank because Tex has died, so there's nothing that's really watching it in terms of the utility. But EU is waiting there. A C's on the ground, a peek out, and there it goes. The flank from Def gets that headshot onto EU, and he's propping out the utility for the rest of XSET to move in. Recon dart about to come out here from BCJ. That's potentially going to spot Ethan. It does so. They go for the double swing. Only one left to go, and he's spotted by BCJ. And XSET, they get the eco round with the defuse, and it's well done as that Molly missed for Hayes, and it's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the last person you expect to be flanking, too. If you have a Breach coming around, you're going to get some util. That's probably coming in the front of the site, if anything. So that moment where EU thinks he's safe, I can throw out a quick seize. Breach came in quiet, just dry peeked with that quick classic. Beautifully done. This little setup from Aaron, what XSET was able to do versus NRG, was great damage. NRG, however, still doing some good damage to keep the round.
I feel
until that got taken out. What is the fuse though from NRG?
This meta seems to be favoring maybe XSET a little bit more too, right? Because we're looking at how Chamber continues to be very, very strong. Less Jets now coming into play. So now you're always going to have potentially Cryocells on this Chamber role, while you have now Zekin flex it into a double duelist more than just playing a KO to help out. So the young fraggers get to frag. The support cast comes from the rest of XSET, and it's coming out pretty well. Definitely is doing a good job here with his utility as Breach as well as BCJ. And speaking of these two players, we have Death getting first contact towards the short A side as NRG are on an eco.
So Death back to this A side. Switching up where the Breach has been. We saw him coming around from B last time. Quiet. Same orb was set up before. Death just seeing Hayes' head. A quick takedown there as they do try to get onto the site. Sam just setting the pace here with a few blast packs, but the trade's easily going in favor of XSET right now. Oof.
All right, it's a trade-off from utility to kills, raise on raise, and they both fall, leaving now Ethan on his own. Latest addition to the team as this guy.
It's tough, right? Everybody's got not enough to back each other up, but just enough to get close enough. So Sam gets in, but nobody can really cross that teleport area as well because it's too dangerous. And you just get picked off one by one. Still damage being done between rounds. something you can look at as a positive. XSET feeling really good to be able to just switch the pace of this game right away. Aaron with the 3K, making it nice. And XSET will go up one more round. We'll see how NRG can answer back. What Alts look like maybe coming into this one. Sam's right there, and EU could be ready to bring down the night on XSET here for a site take.
Yeah, it's already a steep hill for NRG to try to even up the field here between these two teams, because one, they have a hard buy. This is technically still a bonus round for XSET. They could still buy into the next round, and then potentially going into building up here the ultimates for Cryocells if it can continue forward into the following rounds. But for NRG, if they lose this one here, they're back on another save, so this is a very important round for them on the attack.
Sam on a bit of a solo mission there to start, looking for Cryocells in that bathroom area. Well, they know the operator is. They're still going to try to pressure this, and it's not a good idea. Text goes down. We wondered what that meeting would look like. It starts off in favor of XSET. Very
nicely done, too, to get that confidence that he could actually overextend his stay for a little bit longer to be able to get a kill onto Tex, as now NRG are forced to get a little bit more information somewhere else across the map. Head-to-head collision as Zekin is pulling out the boom bot and paint shells just to force back the opposition. So far, they only spotted Haze, but there was a little bit more pressure going on here for NRG as they're leaning for more players and eventually a split into B.
They keep this. They've heard the breach. They've heard the raise. That they did get a bit of util out, though, which may make it feel safer. Sam's going to, again, take that first shot, that first step, and see what he can get. Second goes down, and here comes the Nightfall.
Nightfall's coming out for some information here. It does tag on to BCG, so they could follow out the tether and
30 seconds
peek
left.
out towards the elbow side, and this is going to be a pretty big kill to get, because this allows elbow control and a re-hit back into XSET for the retake. So EU trying to stand his ground. He still has a C's to work with, and it's going to be a double swing. The first one to swing out, the trade is perfect, but it's still a 2 versus 2. You're looking for a retake with an operator in the hands of Cryocells as well. The flash is not available until now for Ethan, and this is a huge piece of utility. Even with this Cosmic Divide coming out from Aaron, this flash is going to be everything here for NRG as they're playing individually. And it still works out. Unfortunately, for the other end, though, there's not much going on for XSET, so you have to go for body peaks. The flash was not even needed, and NRG tie up the game.
That Ethan being on the squad, we've seen it in just previous games. It feels like everybody else gets a little bit more unlocked. The firepower, the brain power that he brought on coming in the middle of April has just really allowed the team to do some awesome stuff. And I feel like it allows Sam to feel better about going forward too, because there's still more behind him. It's only 2-2 here. We're seeing the makings of NRG getting their feet back on the ground here. XSET was able to get a few of their own rounds. Back to guns. BCJ continues to go for this quick forward position, but Sam wanted to catch him again. They're conditioned to him peeking and said, maybe we can start off with a frag right there.
Def is already on a rotation, so the first contact, and now even with the Aldrone, is just going to be XSET going for the full rotate and the stack. And they're pushing towards showers too. So if XSET continues to add this pressure and is forcing a couple of teleportations, Cryocells could be in a great spot with an op and still in range potentially of his TP to get back to safety. So these are looking pretty decent for XSET to hold.
Oh dear. Aftershock just missing. Little game of cat and mouse. There was a head scene for sure there, probably popped up on the radar. As well as you're talking about Cryocells push up, the information gained. Yes, they're probably all cordoned over towards that B side. Trademarks up towards mid, so it looks like the B hit's going to come in. Rolling Thunder out to defend it.
Interesting. So it's more to hold their ground than to play the retake, and in that process, Aaron actually gets popped off by paint shells. BCJ is looking for a forward angle.
BCJ.
Here it comes. He gets flashed, unfortunately, and picked off, and everybody's just dropping, unfortunately, there. So the stack that they had the right numbers, but then, unfortunately, nothing was held.
What a clash to start that one off. You can see Cryocells didn't even really have a chance to move. He rendezvoused to go to the fight, but party was over as soon as it started. NRG again able to just swarm onto a site, keep this momentum going. I said they found a bit of their footing over the last few rounds, but they kicked down the door on that one. Even after kind of sussing out the situation, right? Everything got to be, everyone was waiting, bit of time had passed, utility had crossed, and then what an explosion onto the site after getting that Rolling Thunder out too. So that was a big component of making that work for NRG.
Yeah, it was just well done for NRG to use the initial utility to bait out that Rolling Thunder instead of going for utility and an execution in. Because again, from everything that was set up, just look at that radar. You have literally a human turret with an operator looking showers. You have a trademark. And then this allows for showers control to still be maintained by cryo cells and a rolling thunder to actually go for the retake. And then the same thing into the B side right here. I mean, this could have been huge if they actually did come in contact with the initial push and use that rolling thunder to fight back. But just one flash forced it out, and then that was it. XSET just gets dropped by a full hit by NRG, and that's superbly done. NRG's in the lead, and now the tables have turned. They only have the operator to work with in terms of high firepower for XSET. And for the rest, it looks really broken here.
I love seeing that from the top view there. Thanks to the observers. Cryo. Thanks to that one as well. But just seeing how fast the NRG scaled into the site, and Ethan being one of the first ones to jump on the box just fearlessly. You can see what NRG's intentions are when they have that aggression. Here, it's snuffed out quite a bit. Cryo cells with a great pick over towards Sanderson. Just miss over the shoulder.
Thanks. Towers. A little bit of damage on both ends. Orbital strike coming down too. It's going to be a trade-off now, and losing huge shake control. Cryo trying to peek out. Staying patient right now on the top of Heavenside, using his opponent's smokes to his advantage just to try to get a forward position. And this battle's coming through very soon. Oh, he saw the elbow. The pointy elbow of the other end of Tex. And that's going to be the kill coming in quite easily, rather. As EU now, he's going to have to stand ground just at the default spot. Crossfire as his back was watched by Hayes. Still has a molly to work with, and now he only has that molly to work with as he falls back. So that's on the ground. They're going to have to push him down for XSET. And here's that satchel to push him out of position, too. Smart play. Molly misses. The defuse comes in for XSET, and we're going to go back and forth this game.
A really great job. Little adaptation there by XSET. They switched BCJ around. Well, he probably feels like he's not having the greatest game. He gets over towards A this time. Does get a little bit of help for the squad to figure out what NRG's trying to produce there. So XSET switching around where BCJ is that round, and a few of the members to hopefully find NRG in their pylon, because that's what they've been doing, right? This isn't a site fake. This isn't teleports. NRG kind of gets to the front door. We've seen him go right through, and we've seen him wait to go right through. So they've only taken one site right now. They haven't been doing much too much fake.
One single operator was used by Cryo. Now immediately gets shut down at the short A side. So we're going to see this a lot. He talked about it. Sideshow talked about the head-to-head between Tex and the other chambers, but now he has to play against Cryocells, one of the best ones that we currently have here in North America. That haunt is going to push a defender away back into the TP, and that's death. So that's a lot of utility. It doesn't allow to go for a flash and a swing here from Zekin. So he's pretty much stuck in this corner. His position's given away. Thankfully, there's a Recon Dart and a Hunter's Fury to push back some opponents here. And Zekin's trying to set forward, but Som is just waiting there with the Spectre of his own, and he stops him right into his tracks. Here comes again the Nightfall from the attacker side, and this is getting pressed up a lot right now for me. But Ann once again indeed is holding his ground. BCJ through the smoke, and it's a 2 versus 2. Now not too much left here going on for the attack. 44 seconds left on the round, but we still have the spike in the hands of Tex. Nice fault line out from Death for the rest of the two players of Death and BCJ, both initiators, to take control of site. That jump is now heard, but they still have to figure out where their second player is.
Oh, to A? There's 30 seconds. You start making the run right as you get to that door. Yeah. Bye-bye.
I mean, there's timing. Tex might get caught as they turn around the corner. And here comes the
fight!
battle comes in, and that's Death and BCJ winning those. Unfortunately, you wanted Tex to be in the forefront of that rotate. That timing just came out to be perfect after all here for XSET.
Oh, my word. The cat and mouse games right now in this game. 4-3. We'll see this replayed again. Off the site. Rather than taking the fight straight up, XSET stays to set traps in those fights, right? NRG was able to get a lot of opening kills the last time they exploded onto B. There, NRG is kind of looking around, waiting, where is everybody this time? And Aaron's hiding. Other people are hiding elbow. So NRG setting up more of a trap there in the end. Or, sorry, XSET, as I keep saying other names. In the end, to make sure that round goes in their favor.
Play contact with the fault line to potentially save Cryo for a bit, so he's going to be allowed to stay forward quite a bit, especially with that shot.
Little shoulder peaks.
Yeah. They're really preventing NRG from just grabbing this orb towards showers, but now with that utility and everything has calmed down for a bit, NRG has a chance to move forward to grab this showstopper. And they might use that to their advantage. They have also the Seekers to work with, and that jump spot from Death, though, that just spotted 2 more players.
Second just chilling. Playing the audio game. He's like, I'll move when you tell me. He has ultimate, so looking at probably to just blast out here if he can.
Yep. That's his goal. The Haunt's gonna spot him, though. There's the flashes. There's that showstopper, but it gets traded out right away. Som, though, still gets a headshot onto Zekin. So they're actually weakening out the A site. The spike is down, though, with 30 seconds left. Rotation's coming back from EU from a very long rotate, while 2 players are still pinned inside the side from the defender side. And that's going to be Cryocells missing the first op shot. Spike is now picked up. The Haunt coming out, doesn't spot anybody there. Som now falls. They're trying to TP towards the B site.
Yeah,
now they're going to take it and go. Actually, they just heard the TP on the other side, and unfortunately there, though, for BCG and Cryo, they win both of their duels out towards Showers and towards Teleporter, and that's another round now for XSET.
5-3. I think we're going to get maybe a pause here. I feel like Zekin wasn't really available that round, and XSET still find them getting that round. So, plus to them. Def and the rest of the team. Cryocell's coming up big with some shots. They're going to have ultimates on their side here, and we'll see what they can do to make sure that they're ready for this next one. NRG's going to be calling a timeout, and we'll see what we have. We see how the rounds have been flowing. XSET grabs a few. NRG's able to punch back, and XSET has found out to put a halt to NRG for the time being here in the last 3.
Yeah. This timeout coming out from Josh RT trying to discuss things with Hayes and figure out what they could do now with the lineup. I mean, they were still able to get some good map control towards their B site hits. A little bit less on the A site, as if they still want to try to continue to work the A site, how do we push Cryocells back? They're able to do that with a bit of utility from Ethan by the flashes, but as it comes back towards the back spawn side, it's still very hard for NRG to get deep into the A site right after by fighting that U side to triple.
Yeah.
You can't get past that.
Cryocells is starting to come online, too. We've seen a few opening kills, the mid-round kills. The rest of the team is coming up with good utility to make sure that resource it can be bolstered even more. And here we have the tech pause coming in, I think, to get our members back into the game.
Electronic Sports Douglas, bringing out the technical pauses into our games as well, Riv. But thankfully, again, for the third time as we're casting together the Stage 2, we're still starting off with some great games in this series. We're blessed with good games in North America for Stage 2.
It really is. When the last few series we've cast, nobody really gets a large lead in the game. It's always somebody figures it out. The ultimates come on at the right time. Things happen. You get some. We had some awesome flank game yesterday that we saw coming out from teams. This time, we're just getting some rushes from NRG. They're trying to show the power of this Fade squad. You have that initiator, you have that duelist still in the squad, so you can get in there and make it happen. Tex is ready to be firing over your shoulder with the chamber up. Ethan will be there as well if he's not in the front line, because Ethan has just been in the forward of these site pushes for the team. And maybe they need to change things up, right? Who knows? XSET seemed to figure it out in the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, one thing we've been talking about a lot with what's nice from like even the community now that Fade has come out is the ability of doing flash combos with Fade utility. So for example here, look at Ethan and EU specifically, getting a flash anywhere and combining it with a haunt to actually ping out some opponents to allow your attack to actually push in and just get the upper hand against your opponents. That's one thing. The C's combined with the raise nades is another big one as well. And I think that also helps out when you're able to add an Astra into that, where Hayes is using the thick smokes and the stimmies and the pulse plant mollies to the advantage instead. So that's the trade-off of not using the Astra to afford the combination they can have with the Fade and the Raise.
Thinking of Fade's kit, I feel like it's doable. Obviously playable on Bind. We're seeing it. And we'll see on things like Ascent, if you just, not that it's an amazing on Ascent, but just the scenario of being able to throw over windows, over walls, get those nice shots in that really takes somebody off guard and puts a flash in their face right away. Here on Bind, I feel like it's forced to get into that archway of B long or towards hookah and throw it straight in, which is more, not telegraphed, but easier to counter, not as hard to get around unless it's coming over and landing straight in your face, right? So unless I think that makes it a little stronger, but I love still seeing it. You still get to see how people play it without getting those little over-the-top throws and being able, like you said, to combine it with the utility that makes it strong, that makes it a priority for a team like NRG to want it on Bind.
Yeah. And meanwhile, just to give you an update, fans, chat, we actually do have a player that has unfortunately crashed or disconnected, and we're waiting for them to come back. I'm not Golden Boy. I won't name out names. We're not going to send the army over to that player. You know, we're just gonna wait patiently for the player to come back, and then we could get our fragging on. We could get our casting on as well, and we could see the first map unravel. But while we still have time to talk about this, to talk about the agent composition, because you know we haven't really had too much time in the beginning, just from the aggressive pushes from Cryocells and Techs in the early rounds. I want to know your thoughts as well on Death playing this breach on Bind now with you know, not using a Killjoy, playing a Cypher where he usually plays. What's your thoughts on breach?
I have always loved breach on Bind ever since we saw kind of Korea bring it out as well, sticking it on B, having fault line ready for anything coming up, B long coming up the side of Hookah, as well as we actually saw, I think, Def in the first round playing towards the U-Haul side, and you could see him facing the wall, getting ready to fault line all the way from U-Haul to B. It's such an effective play. As a Valorant player overall, I love breach. You put him in anywhere, and I'll say, yeah, I think it could work, and I'll tell you why, even if it's not gonna. But I absolutely love seeing him. So having XSET bring breach in, I feel like offers so much along with like a chamber that can go across map, a breach that can utility across map, an Astra that can utility across. They can really adjust to what NRG's doing, and at the speed NRG's moving, you almost need cross map right now.
Yeah. Because even in the, it's almost like looking at the breach and the Astra is going back to the previous meta, especially when you're trying to get like early showers control on the attack. This could be one of those fault lines from short A into showers with the gravity wells, and then Zekin potentially could get his satchel charges to take control of that site. But I think that's also looking at how some breaches are being played on this map. For example, DRX likes to use fault lines on the defender side from Hookah into short A for short A pushes. So there's the evolution of breach continues to be, well, I guess continues to evolve, right, into this map. But as we talk about the evolution, let's talk about the evolution of the rounds. We actually have Zekin that's finally made it back. Oh, no, I said his name. My apologies, Zekin. We're actually going to restart the game. Let's do a little bit of a MIB here, flash on the light. I didn't name any names. But NRG are back on a default as they're looking to look for some early control towards his long B side.
Oh, man. Foot in the mouth. Here he is peeking. Just a few jumps. You will have that Vandal. He might get shouldered off. Here, though. Oh, he'll know not to do that again. And NRG, I think, one of the first slow rounds, right? Kind of a pause. Everybody took a breather during that tech. And an initial pause from NRG, where they were maybe considering, hey, let's slow it down. I was talking about that in the beginning, where they had been fast, even on waiting. Then they would crash down the door. Maybe get a bit of that here. Seekers goes out. And this just feels like more of a feel out the map strat, right, fans?
Yeah. Because that's a fake from Seekers going out first.
Exactly.
One hits actually Cryocells, and he's actually very far, not being able to TP anywhere. His TPs are actually set up towards spawn and B. So now NRG makes it inside the B site. The rotate works. They pulled everybody out from XSET, and now XSET, they don't really have too much. Shot darts coming in, doesn't land onto Hayes, misses by a mile as the aftershock comes in too late as well. So that's wasted utility coming out, even less for XSET for the retake, but at least they have the bodies. EU still inside Tin Can, gets the headshot onto Death, as now it's also BCJ and Cryo just getting lined up by EU, who's not only been a star player with the Fade utility, but just a star player in the fragging department that puts NRG back on the board with a victory in this round.
Your first round from NRG where they double hit a site. A was that, they got a little bit of util out. Seekers from showers, which makes you think there's a heavy lean towards A. Your sky is showers, and she casts Seekers. There's going to have flashes from there, right? So they're going to be rotating. No, not really. XSET was pretty much ready to see this happen. Nicely done by EU coming in, though, to make sure it didn't matter that XSET was still there at B, right? There was like 1, 2, 3 as they did come out. They couldn't get back in the site because of all the util that was used, but NRG with a great fake here. The first time they go site to site, and XSET bites it. Pretty hard.
Still from EU. Like that aftershot that we were talking about that was trying to prevent Hayes from getting the plant down. Could have probably potentially hit EU as well, and he was just able to edge far enough to also be safe from spawn side. So just the awareness of where his positioning is versus the utility is quite nice. So he's starting to light up the server too. We're still seeing this very close game. Now XSET is pulling out the timeout.
Yeah, kind of figure things out there. It seemed a little discombobulated coming out of the timeout, as if things were just going to happen. They were the way they were going into it, right? And XSET kind of got rolled over there. Zekin took that shot, crouching, shooting into hookah with 3 people in a firing range. Shoot him down, right? So I feel like we just needed a mental reset there, a breather. Sometimes it happens. You get back into the game, you want to go hard, right? Oh, wow. Here we go. Not the first time we've seen NRG produce that strat to find BCJ or anybody on a peak.
Yep. So the Central Charges on the other side of the map following a guided light to already get an early longside B control, but the TP now indicates that the hit is going to come in towards the A side. So Aaron's already rotating for the defender side. We're playing close here for a second. He has the Showstopper, and he's going to use it right off the Nightfall. But here comes the Prowler too. The Showstopper misses. A paint shell's on the ground. Another Prowler to stun him as Ethan comes in for the swing. But then the pinch comes in from Showers too as BCJ falls. Aaron misses a couple of shots, has no stars to work with, and he's trying to line up that kill onto EU, but to no avail. Now Cryo waited by Tex. That duel is won, and it's Tex out-dueling his opponent. Chamber on chamber once again, and that fault line, the Rolling Thunder that's available for death, is going to be rendered useless into this round. He has nothing to do but to save his weapon, which could potentially be here a prime game. Oh, probably not. We have to hunt him down.
So what we're seeing now from NRG is rinse and repeat with variation. At the beginning of the round, I said we've seen Sam do that a few times to find BCJ, but also in those rounds, NRG followed up and continued to go B. So last round we saw them go A-B. That round we saw them go B-A off of strategies they had used before, but varying up the mid-round strat. Great job by NRG. Just small changes, make the strategy still work, and the team is absolutely backing each other up on anything that might be falling short.
So now it's going to be a Krausel's judge. Still very viable on this map, playing it towards hookah, while the rest of the team still has utility to work with, and they still have this Rolling Thunder, so let's keep that in mind. Starting things off here, Krausel starts with the classic. The Prowler, he's really not trying to show his opponent that he's using a judge here. Now he's going to get seized. It doesn't matter. He can stay close there.
It's like, yeah, come around, please. Seems like they may still want. They have enough. Look at how much they have to check hookah as well. I don't think anybody can stay in there if you want to. Cryo has to rendezvous out. And again, a bit of a switch, Vans. They haven't committed anything to the other site yet, but they did get a teleport.
Zekin exactly TPs, and that's a weakened defense. So now that's Krausel's. Okay, he still gets that headshot. The Rolling Thunder to deny once again, but there's still a minute on the clock to work with. Is this another one of those too earlys for death with the Rolling Thunder? And that's Som now pushing forward. Flash trying to clear some spot for him. Prowls inside U-Haul with this judge. Denied.
The swing gives the team a little bit of pressure. Aaron's there, tries to go for the plant, but there's not enough cover. They don't have the smokes.
30 seconds
The Rolling
left.
Thunder was allow XSET to rotate back here inside the A site.
Oh dear.
Now BCJ's waiting just by Octagon as he hears both teleporters. The fault line to run the clock down. So this is a great fault line because now it's you're gonna have less time. You have less time in your hands to check corners. Som gets that first
Oh my
kill.
gosh.
Actually, he pulls out the Showstopper.
10 seconds
10
left.
seconds left on the clock.
He holds it.
He's
How
looking for the plant
smart.
at the back of the site. He's gonna have to shoot it and plant. Def is looking to jump.
He's gonna hear Def. Def straight up over.
Spirit though, and that's Def with the kill.
Oh,
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, still, it surprised me because BCJ was a little bit further away, but of course Som doesn't know that. But thankfully, XSET they get the round.
Interesting.
Last
From
round
I
in
wonder
the
if
half.
NRG, I missed it, and they used a lot of smokes towards B. But yeah, XSET saying, hey, they're trying to plant in an open site they have not taken control of yet. And Aaron, and you just see him step up and take out Hayes as he tries to plant, saying, hey, happy birthday for that round. And that's here going to finish out. So XSET knowing when they could take advantage of those openings and really doing a nice job to bring that round back in their favor.
Last round of the half here. been pretty even for the economy for both teams throughout this whole half, and EU lines up two.
Oh!
Make that the third with the bite from the Bulldog to headshot VCJ, and that's an early shutdown. And things are looking good to tie things up on a 6-6.
Gonna start seeing more of those, huh? Oh, my word. Nice control by EU. He's had a few of those as well. If he keeps getting them lined up, it just seems like he starts getting this magnet on his aim. Cryo with a bit of a push here, wants to get an idea of something that's happening before it's in motion.
With no TPs. It's the first kill now hit by the Trailblazer, and that's an easy frag back for Ethan. Now we're just clearing the site. It's a 4 versus 1. Aaron, recall your stars and count your lucky stars to try to clutch this. TP coming through.
Planted.
As they hear it, they reposition now for NRG. And I don't think this is going to happen.
Hey, he called the stars back. You know he's thinking in his head, what can I do to make this happen?
Nothing.
Ah,
So
not
6-6
that.
as the birthday boy gets the last kill. Tied up here. Let's pay some bills, and when we come back, we see the first map unravel between XSET and NRG. So things were looking to a hard start with XSET getting the eco win against NRG, but that immediately got flattened once NRG got the economy back. We tied things up to a 6-6, and it's a whole new ball game in the second half, Riv.
Trying to see what the choice is. Yep, same amount of headhunters. Nobody's going Superman. All right, spread out across the map. 6-6, like you said, Vance. Let's see what XSET and NRG have for each other here in the second half. This map, again, being NRG's pick. They're off the attack side now onto defense. Usually, XSET, pretty strong side. It is NRG's stronger side.
Good
See if they can thwart that. Oh, the push!
Yeah, he was trying to catch one off guard, potentially just at least BCJ, but Def was there to save. Now they can exec into the A site where Som is greeted with a bit of utility, and he's just saddling around just to try to fight in front of Showers, but Zekin turns around on time to get the kill. Spike goes down now for XSET. NRG on a rotate, all 3 players at triple. And it's being met up here by Cryo. So what a jumping right-click classic from Ethan. That's Cryo down 3-on-3. Aaron peeking out for some information. And with the information, he gets a headshot. A C to come out, and Def does not get that last kill on to Hayes. But at least BCJ will. And XSET, they win at least this pistol.
Nicely done there. Getting themselves ingrained in U-Haul immediately, I think, really takes that round for them. They're able to get quite a few ghosts over there. Even with Showers going down, right? The headhunter was supposed to be able to come up from behind. Yeah, XSET just seemed to be able to garrison themselves nicely. Not leaving anything to chance. Full armors. And even into a Bulldog here for Def. He's like, you know what? EU did this last time. Let's see what I can do. You'll get that. And we'll see if some shorties can make a play here for the side of NRG on defense.
Yeah, and that's on opposite directions, right? Actually, we only stay with one shorty now with Som.
Yep, good call.
Orb gets picked up because there's no pressure from XSET. XSET still holding this round very, very quietly and slowly. They're okay to give away this orb. I just want to see if NRG is going to press forward anywhere else and punish them early.
A lot of respect from NRG here. Or respect as well as them wanting to gain info, who's where, getting utility. But knowing NRG could pull out some shots, you're not getting too many swings on these angles just yet. Slowly working up, a few of the smokes getting worn away here on that defensive side, as you can see. And there, it's just XSET waiting to push through now, get themselves towards B. Is a wait and teleport from Def on his side. I like the lurk here. The brains of the team is calling off on the play.
So I think EU just dropped his shorty at the beginning of the round so he had a classic, and then dropped that on the ground so he could play with 2 pistols, because now we see 2 shorties back on the map. So we'll see what happens. The Owl drone comes in to spot one, and it tags him inside hookah as well, and that's Ethan. At least now they're pinching in on him. The rest of NRG are rotating through the spawn site. Nice flash to come out, but he was stuck with his knife out, couldn't get the kill, and now Def comes in for the pinch and that frag. Hayes now back towards the spawn side. And this should be an easy round for XSET.
Ping.
Confidence swinging out.
One enemy remaining.
And last one inside the back spawn. That Som for the double swing shorty. Nothing happens there. A prime gaming flawless for XSET.
EGF. Nicely done. Quickly, the wait for XSET there, you can see kind of divvying up energy. I feel like on a round like that, when you're saving, unless you're playing up close on defensive side with a shorty and you need to make a play, you're backing up ever so slightly as the round goes on, getting with your teammate, because you don't want to get swarmed. You know the play has to be a little bit faster. And XSET waits for that. They get a free B, and then are still able to swarm out energy as they come in. Now, the bonus round is the question. Can that work? Whoop.
Well, the satchel charges missed, but it's okay. The recon dart was there.
We're in there.
Yep. Also had that fault line to support, as we mentioned before, from Death, who also gets first blood somehow onto Som from short.
Rotating back. Seems like the orb game is getting a lot of attention this time. I love it. I actually really like to see teams playing around that more. Oh, bit of sight on Zekin. Might have just been on the outside there for him. They can get an idea that XSET is creeping towards B, and again, it is going to be the case. Nobody towards A, so it's going to be a fast one from Zekin as well, out of the hookah on this one. There comes the Roomba.
Oh, a ding through the wall. Ethan forced to fall back. Now playing an off angle. Does manage to get two. He couldn't really run away, so he just stands his ground, and he does his job. Allows things to get a little bit easier for NRG to attempt for the retake as the plant's coming in safely inside the site. So again, XSET continues with the respect onto NRG, and they're just playing things very cautiously into their attacker half. Aljon in the back spawn side doesn't spawn anything yet, but that's the indication that there's potential players on the elbows. So that's a double swing for Aaron at 2 kills, losing BCG in the process, and that's Hayes on a 2 versus 1.
Oh, he's stimmied. Actually, he doesn't realize the defuse is actually in his favor for half at least at this point, and they're going to try to come back around. And now he is pinched, unfortunately. That's, oh no, the swing!
6
oh my god,
HP on
he's
the
definitely going to
180.
get half on here. He's going to, no, the spam. Nicely played by Aaron. Oh my word, Hazed. Definitely turning 20 today on that swing. You saw that reaction time. Oh my gosh.
I mean, age is not a number at this point. We've seen some terrific feats from other older gamers in other games today. Congratulations to Kerrigan. I gotta point that out.
There you go.
That said, though, it's the 9-6 scoreline for XSET. That's 3 unanswered rounds, so converting that bonus. And NRG are back in a situation where they're going to have to battle and scratch the bottom of the barrel and see if they can get a round in.
That's true. You see the sheriffs, the marshals. Headhunt almost hits. They do take damage. Or he takes damage, armor off as Som trades back. So that's going to be a nice starter here on the save. Or the eco buy, I should say, for energy. You see the rest of XSET reconsidering their default stay here.
It was definitely a moment in time where early stage 1 or beginning of the year, we always commend how NRG were so good in their eagle rounds. And this could potentially be another one of those moments where Som gets a beautiful shot to start things off. They still have a Marshall to work with for Ethan. Orbital strike from Hayes, running on that clock down outside 1 minute.
Confidence.
Secret information, so they're really putting in a lot of utility to this. They're really trying to push their opponents back through the teleporter, where actually Tex is winning on the other end. But so far, it's not paying off, so Tex continues to flank, and this is a perfect opportune moment to backstab Aaron, and there is that easy kill. Last 2 players are now stuck inside showers. There is a utility come out, and man, it's even looking to be another flawless. And there it is, Prime Gaming flawless, beautifully done, by NRG.
Wow. Just back and forth. Vans, the games we're getting. Honestly. What a round from NRG there. Able to do it as well towards the first half. Now they do it on the second half, and it's 9-7. That actually puts, you can see XSET's money in a pretty troublesome spot if they are not able to win this round. A lot of ultimates on deck, though, so XSET could try to prevent the worst. Operator for Tex. And NRG is ready to set up this defense, not switching too much up. They're going to keep EU over towards that long B, just to keep an eye on if XSET wants to pressure that.
Trying to see if it can knock him out early. The fault line forces Tex to fall back, but we don't go for showers control. after that little fake, we're rebooking it back for a mid to be split where they actually have a numbers advantage for XSET. Hayes in a tough position. Rolling Thunder is going to have to smoke it close. Molly on the ground. Now he's going to have to stand his ground, and it doesn't work out. Cryo gets the kill. One spotted towards the B-side cubby, and man.
No way!
Gets answered
What?
back by XSET. Prime Gaming.
What is this game?
Yeah, we talked about paying our bills, and we're paying them today.
Oh my God. Anything you can do, I can do better. Is round after round right now. Another flawless coming through. I said this could be the round that XSET really gets hurt on economy if NRG can take it. That's not the case. They bank even more. Now NRG's in that same position of having a little bit of trouble. A few of their members, you can see Ethan's still pretty rich right now. If you're under around 1,700, you're good to go for next round. So they got to be pretty careful here.
We're waiting for this Rolling Thunder. It comes out, that allows Tex to now start pushing forward, and the Aldrone's now going to force it potentially to TP. Now Hunter's Fury out too. Doesn't really get the ping, but at least the sound cue is there, but at least somehow it actually pinged out Tex towards the back of Som, and Tex falls.
Like still holding towards market. Cryo Cells gets it. See if they can produce anything with this. It is going to head towards over to that A site still. Push. Oh, the smoke actually around the corner way too much. I think Hayes thought he was going to be in a much more advantageous position.
So I'm going to do or die, and the timing of that smoke, he thought that he probably still had a couple of seconds to try to play an open position.
Yeah. All right, second, looking to do some damage.
It's not going to happen. The last two guys have to save here. And what does that mean? If we're not going for the hunt here, Riv, I'll just wait for the queue to come out before I call it out. But yeah, XSET's doing a good job, but I think it was more on NRG trying to surprise them a little bit more into the short A push through their own smoke. And it completely gets denied here by Cryo.
Yeah. I mean, you got to throw out those mix-ups, right? It's actually pretty aggressive to push your own smoke like that without having any utility to be approaching first when you scale through it. So an easy plant and win here for XSET as they stretch the score a little bit more, and this is really one of the first times in our series, fans, we were talking about how it kept going back and forth. XSET is finding a way to shut down NRG's defense here.
There you go. Another Prime Gaming flawless.
Yeah.
With a third round in a row. As now for XSET, yeah, they definitely figured out how to play their attacker side based off, what, Rolling Thunders for entries and map control, punishing NRG on aggressive pushes that they're trying to do on the defender side, and just a simple battle into showers too. I think they're using their ultimates quite well for XSET to actually gain this space. Yeah. Because that last round was also from a Harness Fury from BCJ to pop Tex in the back of triple, so it allows for XSET to get these early 5-on-4 situations a lot on their attacker side, and now it starts cooling down the hot streak that Tex had on his attacker side, and now it's just getting shut down and gaining no map control here in the early rounds as a chamber.
You can see what XSET did first half there, second and third round as well to make it pretty tough. And now able to just string these rounds across to this first half. 1, 2, 3. Really starts to separate them. And then we flawless round after flawless round. But once you're ahead, XSET can afford to go head-to-head in those rounds versus NRG.
That's a good spot.
It's about NRG being able to really stall anything XSET has here. XSET, dry on ults. Everything was basically just used. You're going to get Psalms up here quick. And we'll see if they focus that. He is headed towards showers along with Ethan.
Now they'll understand that there's not going to be any early control into showers, so maybe a cue for them to be able to get this ult orb for Som. Have they done so a lot here in their half-buy / ecos to just try to take control of showers, and here it is.
Okay. Play now, man. So they have so much at A still. It does look like they want a hard retake and maybe allow XSET a little bit of room before they pounce. Both initiators.
Coming out from Ethan even spotted out Zekin too.
Yeah.
So that could be an indicator of, hey, there's somebody there. We could play the mind games, try to stack towards the A site. But then here it comes. They're going to try to hold towards his B side as they went for Prowlers towards Showers. So
Yes.
this Showstopper is going to be a TP Showstopper on the flank most likely at some point.
Oh, he's waiting for you. Can see he's super waiting for it, or to just bounce up and get a short if he hears any sort of sound in that situation. Do they TP? Do they TP? Getting bit out here, a push. Tex actually sees quite a few there. What info grab, but Zekin's gonna make it harder on Tex. Ooh, Ethan!
Nice little swing by Ethan. The rifles comes into
Oh,
play, but then
Zekin.
Zekin has something to say. Now here comes a satchel with the judge, dropping his opponent. And that's a 2 versus 1. Zombs has been in these situations before, caught in a reload, but still headshots death, and not enough time to readjust onto Aaron. It looked close, but it's still going to be XSET with now map point.
Oh my god, I can't imagine the comms right now. The second somebody's hearing it is also the second it seems like a player can act on the situation. So boom, yes, hookah. Oh, okay, going to hookah, firing hookah, spam up there. Oh my word, everything happening in that situation. You love to see it. And the pressure from XSET as well is just becoming way too much for NRG there. We saw Zekin setting himself up throughout the round for those plays, was able to come through pretty strong. But we're on game point for XSET here. Can they make it happen? Oh,
Watch
Zekin.
each other. Zekin going in the back of the site. Texas
Hit his
just
head.
winning with the operator. That's 1 down, and that shuts down the push. XSET decides to move back towards the B site. Flash to get some early info on the defender side, but it doesn't ping anything yet. But now the footsteps, the recon dart, that's the cue. The hits coming in, the trades coming out, and EU's continue going to work. But on
Huge.
point, this game
Nightfall.
might be able to save the round here for Energy.
Planted.
You want to play?
They might not
Let's
even need
play.
Nightfall. If they can save both. Yes, Showstopper and Nightfall, even if they get into trouble here. Waiting with the team now.
Standing.
Trade shot. That's going to come out for the last. That's going to be real tough for Aaron now as they go straight for the defuse and set up a defense.
Wow, they're really using all their ults too. Now it's
They did?
actually Energy's turn to give the respect over to XSET.
They used all their ults? Okay. Okay. I'll say that. I feel like you're going to want to be able to snuff, especially the Showstopper, to put that pressure on XSET on a rush. The XSET has so many opportunities at 12-8. Not so many, I should say, because you don't want to lose your econ. They have quite a bit of money to try a rush, to pressure Energy and push them to the limits on these rounds. So to not have the Showstopper now, I feel like might be a mistake. They're the pros. They're doing what they're doing. If Energy can pull it back here, we'll see if they can do it with that Ethan Seekers. It's just a point off and hazed as well in his ultimate.
We're battling towards Showers. So Def really wants this orb while the rest are pushing forward, so I understand that push. Smoke coming in from Hayes, and we're going to walk through it, but Def is just waiting. Oh no, because of the no fault line, that's no information from NRG, thinking that Showers was clear. Lisa trade comes in, they fall back into the A site. Now we're scaling back on the opposite side for XSET at B. Information with that Trailblazer from Ethan to spot 2. And he pings it out to let his teammates know.
There. Got him.
Ethan pushes second. Patience there from him. The rotation's coming over from Aaron. He can still help the team with that cross-map util. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Hex goes for the push now. Hex goes for the drive. Oh, his shoulder.
Not too sure about these pushes coming out for
They're
Energy,
just feeding
but I guess you
Zekin.
got to try to do something. But now the players are moving in. EU is going to be on his own in the back of the site. Hayes in a long rotate.
Bring them down. Spike
This,
planted.
mind you, is Energy's map pick. Boombot spots EU. Molly available for Hayes as he's looking to pop that towards that left side of 10 so they can focus on the right. Counter shock darts. Gravity well, running that clock down. Nice little scenes. Out in the open is Zekin. He still manages to get a kill off that, but it's traded off by Cryo, and XSET get the first round and the first map in his series against Energy.